So today in this video, I wanted to talk about this Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, this device over here, and I have got some thoughts about this device because even though that it is one of their flagship devices, it is just one step less than what a flagship device should really be, and this is one of the things that I will mention in this video along with my experience of using this device as a first time Samsung Galaxy Z Flip series over here. So without wasting any time, let us just get straight into this video and let us see that why do I say that this device over here is one step less than what we have on the Samsung flagship devices, just like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. That will be one of the devices that I will be just mentioning in this video again and again because that is one of the key things that I want to mention over here in this video. Now first, Samsung did update the design on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 and now it is more industrial. It has got more of the square edges along with a new camera design. As you can see over here, I just do not like this new updated camera rings, but these are over here. Along with, you have got a new redesigned hinge. Also, you have got a better matte finish in the terms of the bezel, or I would say the gasket over here, along with the crease is less noticeable than what you had on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 from the last year. But now if you notice, this device over here has not got a titanium frame just like what we have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. That is again a flagship device, or even though that we have got these updated cameras over here, we do not have a 200 megapixel camera sensor, or it does not even have a wider aperture just like what we have on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So yes, it has got an updated camera sensor but not as good as what you would want, and it is the same sensor as it is sitting on the regular Samsung Galaxy S24, or even the other camera sensor that is a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera sensor is not the one that they changed from the last year. So again, not a flagship treatment over here. And also, I would have just loved if there was a telephoto camera instead of an ultra wide camera to make it more like a flagship device that we would just want to have on this thing over here. So yes, it is again one step less than what you would expect on a flagship device. Now even more, we have got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, which is great, but to handle all the heat, it does not have a vapor chamber running on the top and the bottom. It just have the thermal solution on the top upper part of the body, and this is something that I've noticed while playing games on this device, because even though that Samsung says that it has got some improvements in the terms of the thermal solution and it is more game ready, it is just not there, and you would still feel a lot of overheating on this device. That is something that I just did not like. Or even if you look at the battery capacity on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, it is a 4000 mAh cell, which is better than what you got on the last year Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5, but again it is short of what you have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. That is a way bigger capacity than this device over here, but I would say it is still decent in my opinion because you are using this cover display most of the times, and it does give you a really great battery life on this device over here. But because we are talking about the displays, there is also a downgrade in the terms of the display on this device over here, because even though that the inside display on this thing is really good, it is just capped at 1080p and it is not a Full HD resolution just like what you have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So yes, one more thing that is less than a flagship device. And also, the cover display is not something that is the best in the class. It is not 120Hz and it is capped at 60Hz, and also the resolution on this cover display is not very good. You can just pixel peep everything, and I just do not like the way that this display over here it looks over here. Now again, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 over has got one really good thing over here, that the base specifications are really good for the price, because you are getting a 12GB of RAM that is standard on all the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6s, and also the base storage on this device over here is 256GB. Now this also means that you will see a price increase on this device over here, but also you are getting a better storage on this device. That is always a welcoming change, and I think that $100 more for this kind of change over here is great. Now all the things that I just mentioned about in this video, most of them are just hardware related, and that is how I see this device over here, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 versus what we have got on the flagship Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. That is a great device as well. But now let us talk about a few things that I just found annoying on this device before getting into the good stuff, because I know a lot of things that I'm going to mention in this video might not be in all the videos that you might see online. So yes, sit back and relax and listen to me because I have a lot to discuss in this video. Now the first thing that I generally did not like about this this device over here is in the terms of the software, that how you are able to apply wallpapers on this device over here. Now there is nothing wrong about this application over here, but I think that Samsung could have just done more to be able to make things better on this device over here. For example, if I'm applying this wallpaper over here and there is a human subject over here, now you can see on the bottom that there is this effects button over here that generally allows you to change from different styles like the original, the blur, the grayscale background, the colors, the ink, pastel, and so much so. And you have just got a lot of options if there is a human subject. But for example, the subject is not a human, or it is just a car, or it is just a bus or something else. Samsung AI over here, it is not able to recognize the subject that is a car over here, and it just does not give you as much of effects or background effects that you can get on the one with the human subject versus the one that you have a car in or any other subject over here. So something that Samsung could just improve with some of the software updates over here. Now another thing that I noticed on this device over here is in the terms of the copy paste functionality on this device. That is something that is particularly not very good on this device over here. And again, I think so that this might be a software bug, but if it is a software bug, Samsung should be just fixing this thing. And if this video really reaches Samsung, so Samsung, just listen to me, because there is a huge bug over here on this device over here. So sometimes when you are typing something on the Samsung Notes application and you just want to copy the very same thing on the other applications on the device, for example Notion or another notepad or something, now what happens is that you are not just able to select a lot of text on this thing over here, because in the middle of selecting and scrolling to the end of the article or the paragraph or anything, it would just lose the focus over there, and you just have to start again and start selecting again and again until you are able to select everything and copy and paste it to the other application. But now there is a workaround that when you long tap on anywhere on the screen, you can select all, and if it is multiple paragraphs on the screen, you can long tap again on the screen, and then you will be able to select all the entire thing that you have written down on the Notes application or the Notion application, and so much so, and again copy and paste that thing. So that was something that was particularly annoying to me, but something that I just did want to mention. Now another thing about this device that I did not like was that this cover display over here, it just does not have a lot of functionality over here. Now again, there is a lot of functionality, but not the way that I would just want to be on this device. Now if you want to have some of the applications to be launched on this device over here using the regular launcher that what you get with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 on this lock screen over here, you can just do not have a lot of applications on this thing over here, because this is how Samsung has designed this thing, and everything is just locked to use a few of the Samsung applications that are just pre-installed on this device. Now this thing in particular is a very big sus for me, but again you have got a workaround, and you can just use the Samsung Good Lock launcher to be able to use a very simple functionality. All you need to do is that you need to install the Good Lock launcher from the Samsung store, and you just need to install the multi-star application from there, and you can just have a launcher over there. And if you go to the settings of this multi-star application, you will be able to figure out that you can just add a lot of icons to this Good lock screen over there, and whatever again that is installed on your Samsung Galaxy Flip device over here. Now another thing is that even though that you get to have all this application on this weird screen aspect ratio over here, you would not be able to use them with the full potential, because a lot of the applications are not just optimized. For example, the YouTube application, if you're watching some kind of short over there, it will just give you a very weird resolution, and there is just no way of to be able to change the size of what you're seeing on this cover screen over here. And even though Samsung did include the YouTube application in one of their official application list in the original launcher, not the Good Lock launcher, you still get to see the very same thing on this thing over here. So something that you would just want to note, but I would say it is particularly a very good cover display over here, because you have got some cool animations, and this thing over here, you can just customize this lock screen over on this cover display in the way that you just really want it to be. I just customized it in a very good way, I think, and I just love this personalization thing that you can get over this cover display on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 over here. But another thing that I just did not like about this device is that whenever you try to play any kind of media on this device, the entire device just vibrates, and the same thing is even worse on the cover display. So I was watching a few of the YouTube videos on the cover display on this thing over here just for trying drawing out the things and I would see a lot of vibration in my hands, and that is particularly, I do not know why, but this is something that is particularly very annoying for me when I'm using this device over here. And another thing, as we're talking about the media, these buttons over here, they just sit really high up over here and it is just very hard to reach this button. So something again that I just do not like about this device. Now this was a list of the things that I did not like about this device over here, but there are a few things particularly that I just loved about this Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 over here. For example, I love the generative AI features that we have got on this new device over here, because yes, we have got a lot of features from the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and because this thing over here is running on one of the latest softwares, the features are even more enhanced on this device over here. For example, we have got the new updated summarize note feature on this phone. That is something that is very similar to what you have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, but now you can also draw in the notes and AI will try to bring your imagination to a real life image and give you options to choose from the image, that what do you just want this image to be looked like. For example, you want it to be like a sketch or a pop art or a cartoon artist or something that you just want to choose from. I was able to create some amazing results from this, and I think that it just makes a notes application a bit more playful, just like what we have been doing with the Apple iPads in the past. And this is particularly something that I would be just waiting on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra to be arriving as well. But there are some other great features in this generative AI thing as well, because now we have got an entire separate menu in the settings to allow or disallow the AI stuff, because now you have got a better control on what are the things that you want to be sent to the cloud and what are the things that you just do not want to be sent to the cloud. And a few of the features that works on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, they do work natively thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor on this device, but there are still a few features that does work when you upload the things to the cloud and get back the meaningful result. But Samsung clearly says that it does not store anything on the Samsung cloud. Now the other thing that I particularly loved on this update over here is the interpreter application, because now if you are traveling somewhere and if you just do not know the language, you can just open the interpreter application and you can also use the cover display as well. So whatever you are speaking at your end, the other person, he can read from the cover screen and he would be able to know that what you are trying to convey, and when he conveys back, you will see the updated thing, or I would say the interpreted language on your side of the screen. That is again something that is very amazing for a two-way communication. So the next time when you're traveling to Japan or Korea, you would just not be stuck with a bad interpreter that we always used to have on the other devices, or the ones that are very difficult to use, because this thing over here, it just does make everything a bit more simple. Now the next thing that I loved on this device is the flex mode, and basically it divides the screen into half, and the other part you can use as a touchpad or have a second application opened over here, and also you can just enable a few different controls over there. For example, changing the volume, the brightness, or bringing down the entire top bar over there to be able to adjust the settings manually over there. So something that I particularly did not use a lot, but I know that this flip mode is particularly useful if you just do not want to sit in the front of computer, or if you just do not have any kind of phone holder while you're watching some videos or watching some content on the phone. And basically this thing, it looks like this with a touchpad enabled over here, and it just works, and it just works very well, and particularly one of my favorite features, even though I did not use this feature as much as I thought that I would really do. Now another feature that is a kind of gimmick on this device over here is the camcorder mode, but again this is something that I would just want Samsung to develop and make it better with time, because I love the concept over here that you can just use this device like this to be able to record anything. And this is again particularly something that is very useful for the people who are into a lot of vlogging stuff, and this is particularly very simple on this device, because all you need to do is that you just need to flip this thing like that, and you just open the camera application and you are just good to go in the camcorder mode. And also you can have this display enabled over here to see the preview that what the other person is seeing over here as well. So particularly something that is useful as well. But what I would want to have over here particularly is that if Samsung is really focusing on this camera mode over there, they there should be a dedicated button somewhere over here to be able to use while you are in this camcorder mode. Maybe you're recording a video and in the middle of the video you just want to have a shot as well, and you can do the very same thing with a physical button over here. Or also there should be some kind of a gimbal level of stabilization on this thing, even though that this is not a gimbal. But I think that Samsung can do something in the terms of the software on this device over here, especially with the AI features that are enabled on this device to be able to give you an output that is a gimbal level of stabilization. I particularly love that you can use the cover display as a secondary display while you're shooting a video, so that the other person knows that what is the exact frame like on the screen and what he wants to do and how he just wants to move around in the video. So something again particularly that was useful on this device over here. Now there are a few people who would say that the battery on this device over here is 4000 mAh versus a 5000 mAh on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I just want to break the myth over here, because this device, it does last as long as my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is really lasting. And this is particularly, that is very amazing over here, because this thing over here is just 4000 mAh and not 5000 mAh over here, and it does prove that how a good software paired with a very efficient processor like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, along with the use of this cover display, that does save a lot of battery, because you do not have to just open the bigger display all the time, and also because the screen on the outside is not of a very high resolution, you just do get to see a better battery life on this device over here. That was one of my biggest complaints with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Now one another thing that I just want to mention over here is that this device over here, it does not have the fastest charging that we have seen in the market, and it is just capped at 25 watt, and this is something that I did really want to see an update, since the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, it does have a 45 watt of charging over there, and I would just want this device to come with a similar charging as well. But this is something that is not particularly good on this device, and it takes about an hour or more to be able to completely charge this device over here. That is something that is again a sus for me, but again something that I can just overlook because of a great battery life on this device over here. So something that does just work for me over here. Now the last thing that I want to talk about on this device over here is really the cameras on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 over here, and I just do not care about what would people say about me after watching this video. I just want to say that the cameras are better, but they are not as good as what I would really expect to be on this device, particularly over here. Now I shot a lot of videos and I took a lot of photographs on this device. A lot of photographs that I took in the low lighting conditions on this device over here were particularly very grainy, and not something that I really see with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra or the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And particularly this device over here, it just tends to over sharpen everything, and that might be because of the Samsung intelligent optimization that is set to the highest level on this device over here. But again, if you just turn it off, it just does not give you the very best results that you would just want to have. Or maybe I'm just spoiled by the images that are coming out of my Google Pixel 8 Pro. Particularly if you just look closely, Samsung has just set this to be default as a 12 megapixel and not a 50 megapixel camera. And also the secondary camera is again a very good ultra wide camera, but I would again just want it to be a telephoto camera, just so that it feels more flagship and you can use all the zooming features on this device, just like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra over here. But you got the point. This is a great device, but it is just one step less than the most ultra smartphone that Samsung has to offer in this day and time, and that is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. But yes, it is an expensive device, but it is not a device that what you would just really want to have if you just are looking for the best specifications in any device over there. And well, now you know that what this device is all really about, and why I just call this Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 not to be a flagship device, and all I just call this device to be one step less than what you have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And you just got the point. The DNA is almost the same, but I think that it is much more of a competition to the baseline Samsung Galaxy S24, because the specifications are almost the same screen quality, same battery life, and also the same cameras as what you get on the baseline Samsung Galaxy S24. But over here you have got more RAM, more storage, along with all the Z Flip features that are very exclusive to these devices over here. And that was the whole point of this video. But I still think that this thing over here is a very solid pick, and the one that I just do really recommend. That was all about this video. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.